So after a day filled with drizzle, grey skies, it's 7:10 and I just jumped in for a swim. And it's really warm. I reckon it's about 19 degrees right now. And it's nice because we haven't had a shower in a while, so it's nice to jump in the water. We motored to a place called Wade's Corner today in the drizzle. Troy donned the wet weather gear. Lots of seals and spectacular scenery, wasn't it, Troy?
It's pretty specky.
And yeah, we're going to head into Hobart tomorrow and hopefully, fingers crossed, we have some wind to go sailing.
Welcome to Free Range Sailing. Join us as we sail around Australia, visiting its wild places in our 30-foot, 50-year-old sailing boat, Marul.
Living off the land and sea while sailing a yacht that costs less than a new car, we show that it's possible to have big adventures with a seaworthy boat on a very modest budget.
We're having a very comfortable sail into Hobart. Waiting that extra night at Wade's Corner near Nobina was the correct thing to do. We woke up a bit disheartened this morning because it was really still and rainy and foggy, but as soon as we came out into Storm Bay, we found a nice southerly breeze and we're on a reach into Hobart. Well done, Skipper.
Thanks. Worked out alright, didn't it?
Yep.
I wish these pesky dolphins would leave us alone though. They're really friendly here. They're, I don't know, the ones up in Queensland, they're just sort of, vaguely curious, but these ones come from miles away to come and jump around your boat. And seals, there goes one. It's a bit off in the distance. The place is alive.
We'd arrived in Hobart a month before the COVID-19 travel restrictions. Constitution Dock in the middle of the city was busy for a small city, with new cruise ships arriving daily.
Well, we're in the Maritime Museum, and it's sort of a favourite pastime of ours is going to museums and so on when we go. And there's an exhibition of maritime art. That's a painting. It's amazing.
This is a replica bark canoe that Aboriginal people used to move around the waterways in southern Tasmania when the first Europeans arrived. The canoe is made from a core of buoyant reeds which are wrapped with swamp paper bark and tied together with native laurel and string also made from native reeds.
So in Port Arthur we ran into your first semaphore, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Seen?
Mm-hmm.
And we were saying that over there in Port Arthur they were able to communicate messages there without electricity in about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Well, this building was the Hobart, the last link in the chain, I guess.
Yeah.
And if we look here in the plaque, it just describes it kicked off in 1818.
1818, so more than 200 years old. Pretty cool.
There's a ton of history here in Hobart.
Yeah.
It really is.
These mulberries are absolutely delicious. And there's lots of stone fruit in the house too.
So this is what gave the game away. This is what had us looking for mulberries. Those guys.
Don't stand under there too long.
Upper decks of this vessel is fitted with light rice and light greens and various coffees.
Why do we have champagne at, what is it, 10 in the
10:30
morning?
in the morning.
What's going on, Pascal?
We're in the posh pit. Because we're posh.
We're very posh. Anyone that's followed us would know that. But to give you a bit more of an idea, we're going to Mona. And what's Mona?
The Museum of Old and New Art.
That's right. So we'll find out a little bit more about it, but it's an art gallery with a difference.
Yeah. It was put together by a Taswegian named David Walsh.
It's an art gallery with a difference because we're drinking champagne at 10 in the morning. That's where the difference lies.
Mona doesn't look like much on arrival, just a few small buildings on a rocky shoreline. But when you enter Mona, it's like you've stepped into a villain lair of a Bond film. The whole museum has been carved out of rock with anchor points throughout to stabilise the structure. We love the impact of the raw structure with no interior finishes. It is an incredible feat of architecture and mine engineering. If you want to see what any of this is all about, most of it is we're unable to film, aren't we?
So we can show you the amazing architecture, and it's amazing. Like, my mind is boggling how much this cost, and I would have liked to have been the engineer designing it. Yeah, we can't do it justice. You're just going to have to come here and see
Have
it
a look at the
yourself.
art for yourself, yeah.
But it's the maddest thing I've ever seen. I've seen some mad things.
We were visiting Mona with my parents in February. The museum is currently closed, but we highly recommend a visit when it reopens.
So we're going to go check out an art installation that is a machine replica of the human digestive system. Cloaca.
And we had arrived just in time to see Cloaca being fed lunch. Today it was getting fed some leftover sausage rolls from the cafe. Prior to his creation of Cloaca Professional, the artist, Wim Delvoye, was told by a critic that his work was crap. So he took that feedback on board, literally making this crap machine. With the feed of Cloaca complete, the level in the first canister representing the human stomach had doubled. The food then imitates the human digestive process, travelling along each of these canisters over a period of 9 hours until it poos in a final petri dish.
What do you think of Cloaca, Lassie?
Stinky.
Stinky,
Yeah.
but different.
Yeah, I'm different.
I loved it.
You were very excited. Is it your favourite exhibition?
No,
Exhibit, sorry?
I won't be pinned down to a favourite.
Can you see the water where you are? The river, like the Derwent. Where it's a dark tunnel of adolescence. Did you crawl into the tunnel? No, you like... What did you say?
You have to say something, it's called a confessional.
Oh,
A confessional.
I don't know what to confess of. Have I what?
Nearly pooed yourself?
I have pooed myself before.
Too much information.
I ate some chicken in Morocco. It was a bad scene.
This is another piece by the artist Delvoye who created the Cloaca Professional. It is made from laser cut steel and was one of my favourite pieces at the museum. While in Hobart, we were also made visiting members of the Derwent Sailing Squadron, who kindly let us use their facilities, including this dinghy pontoon.
Being able to have a fresh hot water shower every week has been amazing for the 2 weeks we've been here in Hobart. So thank you very much to the Derwent Sailing Squadron for hosting us.
Well, our time in Hobart Town is nearly up, and we've had a pretty good look around, but we're getting ready to go to the West Coast. So, of course, Pascal's been shopping again, and she reckons we're good for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So we'll have a look at what she's got, and we'll have a look at what did it cost us.
Well, I haven't found any space for these in the pantry yet because it's full, and these are ginormous. But I've got 2 kilos of kimchi here, which didn't cost us very much because we made it last night. It probably cost about... the cabbage was $6, so I guess the kimchi, with all the other ingredients, it cost us about $10.
What's the basis of that there, Pasky? Is that just all cabbage?
Cabbage, Korean chili flakes that we got from the Asian store. I couldn't find daikon radish, so we've got carrot. So carrot, ginger, garlic, and fish sauce, and shrimp paste.
And what is that?
That is a giant tub of ghee.
It's not paint.
1.8 kilos of ghee, and it cost us $98. It's organic ghee, so we paid a good price for it, but it's going to be really delicious. I'm really looking forward to cooking some crayfish and abalone in this delicious ghee.
People that don't know what ghee is, what is it?
Ghee is clarified butter, so it's butter that has had all the milk solids removed from it.
And why did you buy that? Why
This?
why do you particularly like ghee?
Okay, so ghee has a high smoke point, so you can fry things really hot in it, and also it doesn't go rancid because the milk solids have been removed, so you can keep it out of the fridge, and it's a great oil for cooking. Yeah.
Great. And you've been gardening?
Yeah, so this cost us nothing. Our friend on the east coast of Tasmania, Catherine, she she cut some rosemary and thyme out of her parents' garden there, and we've been keeping it in a jar for the last 4 weeks, and it's starting to grow by itself. It's got little roots and new shoots of rosemary coming through and new shoots of thyme, so we've got our own little mini herb garden. So we went shopping yesterday, and I also went shopping at the farmers markets on Sunday. Yesterday we got all of our non-perishable items, and that was about $600 or $700, including we went to the supermarket and we also went to the Asian grocery. And so we've shown you before what we get in terms of non-perishables, but a lot of it was tinned tomatoes, coconut milk powder, yeah, we've explained it all to you before. We didn't have to, we still haven't topped up on our legumes yet because we left with a lot of legumes when we left Perth 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago.
Yeah, all right. So we'll go and have a quick look at the pantry.
Yeah.
And it's bustling.
We're pretty stocked up here. There's a few things that we don't normally buy that we don't normally buy in such large quantities that we've bought this time, because we want to do some expeditions when we're in Bathurst Harbour, and we're not allowed to fish there because it's a completely protected marine sanctuary zone. We've bought some really high calorie, high nutrient foods like some salamis and things like that, because it's quite cool. We can keep these out of the fridge and they'll be fine. And some tinned fish, tinned sardines that I've taken the labels off, the cardboard labels off, and just labelled. So this one's extra virgin olive oil. And we've just had a cruise ship exit Hobart, so it's a little bit bumpy.
Bit of rock and roll going on.
Yeah, and so I went to the markets and got lots of citrus, ginger, avocados, corn. Beautiful, because it's summertime here in Tassie, believe it or not. Beautiful fresh tomatoes. They're so good at the moment.
Show us a beautiful tomato. You can't just tell us about it.
Like cherries, but they're nice size.
Whoa.
They're really good. We've been eating them every morning for breakfast. And yeah, I've got a stash of eggs. We've got 3 dozen eggs. Lots of nuts and things like that, because they're another really good high calorie snack that we can take if we go away, and they're also a really great thing to eat while you're sailing because we don't often feel like cooking a hot meal. So yeah, that's us. Also went into a local health food shop and managed to find alfalfa seeds in bulk, so that was really great. I got like half a kilo of alfalfa seeds here, so we'll be able to sprout some fresh greens in a few weeks' time when we're running low on all our fruit and veg that we stocked up at the markets.
Yeah, that's been a key strategy, isn't it? Powdered milk for yogurt and cheese, and sprouts for our fresh greens, and that means we don't really miss the fresh produce of land.
Yeah. I know I've been banging on about this a lot lately, but if you want to know more about how we provision and you haven't already got a copy of my free provisioning guide, there's a link to it in the description of this video. Thanks for joining us this week, and we look forward to seeing you next week as we set sail to head to the wild west of Tasmania.
Usual free range style, the itinerary has been interrupted to go forage for food.
I was sort of looking forward to just a nice relaxing day of sailing.
Not the case.
It's been technical.
If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, as it really helps get our video out to a like-minded audience. Thanks again for watching, and see you next week.